where you have an understanding of each nitty-gritty of the life.
So it's about critical learning and
Yeah.
a critical analysis and approach to life. But to discuss this and to say how important all these things are, where we're standing within our own education models that we're using within Pakistan, we have been joined by a wonderful guest to discuss it.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, the guy who's actually with us, he's a motivational speaker, he's a trainer coach, he's CEO of English in Moments. He's none other than Mr. Muhammad Habibullah. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you?
I'm okay, man. Thank you so much for asking.
Walaikum
Maha,
assalam.
how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for being
Thank you
here.
so much for having me over here. The things that you're talking about today, the education system and plus the, you can say, extracurricular activities, how we can combine them and how we can, you can say, form up a positive product for our kids and all that. You know?
Exactly.
Now, you know, I guess from class 3, especially in Pakistan, from class 3 till metric, all of the kids, they are, you can say, drived through, you can say, unsolved dilemma.
Okay.
And the dilemma is, you know, so getting into the race of getting numbers and getting into the race of being...
Okay, slowly.
High.
So, take a deep breath. We always do like those guests, whom we certainly do not have to ask questions, but they're on such a bandwagon that, they keep on telling. So you're going to give away everything, but we want to go methodologically.
See, the method that I'm talking about, like I was saying, from class 3, kids are supposed to control their vision.
Okay.
So there's a psychological test that should be taken by showing them certain videos, certain pictures, by showing them certain characters. I mean, just like Superman or lawyer or doctor, engineer.
Okay, we're going to come down to this point. But first of all, we want to talk about the education system which still prevails. And then the new education system which you want to apply to different schoolings or schools as well. So what's different in the education system which is still here, and why do you think that there was a need for you to come up or probably advise another education system which you think is better for kids?
I guess this new education
First,
system,
the old one.
Okay, the old one, the old education system, it's, you can say, it's paralyzed, and because of not having the content of personal growth.
Okay.
Since from the childhood, a child is not taught the personal growth. And in personal growth, you can say, like they sacrifice their health, they sacrifice their going out with friends, they sacrifice going for the sports. A lot of kids, I mean, even when I was a kid, I wanted to take part in different cricket games and all that. But because of, what parents would say, what my friends would say, and, I don't have time for this, I have to get my 90 grades and all that, So to get all this, we sacrificed all that.
Okay.
So the previous education system is making kids to sacrifice their things which are going to actually help them in their real life.
Absolutely. Okay.
Now, this education system that I'm talking about, let's say from class 3, we take that psychological test that I was talking about. We are just going to teach the kids, let's say a child say, according to that test, that I want to be a lawyer. So we're just going to teach them 3 basic subjects and 1 book from the law.
Okay.
So from grade 3 till grade 10, he would only study law, and he would wear the uniform of the lawyer, not a proper uniform from the school.
Okay, so now so let's break this down in itself. So but why would you want to push a child from the age of grade 3, from grade 3 into a specific profession? Like, because over the course of, you're talking about personal growth and evolution, then why would you not teach them more subjects and let them explore maybe what they're good at?
So that they can be open to specialization whenever, they fulfill or they hit the age where they're like, okay, I was a kid earlier. I mean, it's just like, for example, we always wanted to get married to a lady when we were young. For example, 3 years or 5 years or 6 years of age. But, certainly you change your mind. So why do we even want to stick to one? Okay, we'll definitely get that answer. But ladies and gentlemen, at this very moment, we need to head out for a short break. Don't go anywhere because the conversation just got interesting. Good morning.
Welcome back, everyone. And before the break, we're talking about the importance of looking at the education system within Pakistan and how we're actually helping our kids, grow personally and, physically and professionally, etc. So the question was, why push a child into one area? Because over the course of time, people change their mind, they've developed new talents, etc.
You see, when I grew up, when I did my university, I realized that I was not made for this particular course.
Okay.
So why?
Which course did you do though?
I went for computer sciences, okay, and at the end of the day, I realized, oh my God, I'm not a coder.
Okay,
Yeah, all right.
fair enough.
Okay, so, and then I changed.
Okay.
I went on to become a philanthropist and become a motivational speaker, and I got some courses. Now, why at that age I had to shift on, while at that age I should be responsible to provide something to my family,
Okay.
to live the life that I am to live
Okay.
at that age. But on that age, I'm certainly to change my whole, you can say, curriculum and try something totally new that I am actually passionate about.
Right.
So that child, after that psychological test, what he is passionate about, he would be chosen. Now, let's say you're saying that he would not be studying other subjects. I agree with your point. And to some extent, that point is valid. Okay? But what's going to happen in future? In future, when that child grows up, okay, when he goes to matric and he O levels or A levels, he doesn't have to decide anymore, and nor his uncles or aunties or neighbors or friends, they have to decide, or go for engineering, go for law, or maybe they see the ranking on the Googles, or maybe they see their neighbors. No, because the child has decided by himself. So something that he had decided by himself, it would not lead him to destruction.
But okay, I see what you're trying to say, but the thing is, it's but the other flip side to that, Shahzad, I'm going to steal your point. I'm
Yeah,
so
it's all
sorry.
right, it's all
It's the fact that when you're limiting their education exposure, then what if they don't get into that law school? Or, are we not still pushing that same culture of be a doctor, lawyer, engineer? Like, will parents accept their kids doing something different?
Now there are multiple fields. I'm not talking about only law. Okay, I just gave an example of being a lawyer.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
You can become somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever a child wants to be. Maybe a child wants to be best sportsman. Okay, so you give him 3 basic subjects. Okay, and then you send him to sports. You give him studies. You give him books about sports. Okay, because I guess. Okay, in university you study about 44 subjects, and out of your 44 subjects, only 6 or 7 subjects of your field subject. Okay, but 33 or 34 subjects are for your exposure, or for, you can say, sometimes you say, oh yeah, ye to burden hai, theek hai. But the thing is, you have to take on, and I will just give an example of that. When this child has the personal growth, now let's just talk about personal growth. Why am I suggesting that kids should choose this one thing? Through this one thing, he would totally invent his passion. He would say that, let's say, a child goes to O level, A levels, and then he goes to LLB. Okay. Now, when he goes to LLB, this is his first time at the age of maybe 18 or 20, when he is studying the first book related to law.
Okay.
But what if he started studying that book at the age of 7 or 8?
Okay, yeah, so exactly, so it's like a different take on vocational training.
I think, but then at the same time, I think that the better model would be, for example, when we are in our O levels, A levels, or matriculation, and this is where it actually comes down that we have to decide which line we have to choose. So what happens is that what we can probably do is, but rather than just giving them a book or probably 3 basic subjects in the 3rd grade or the 4th grade, what we can do is that we can give them options within, for example, when they're opting for their O levels, that, okay, you've got computer sciences, you've got law, you've got business, you've got marketing, you can do anything, and that can be an extra subject which he can study initially, and then if he changes his mind, he still have his options.
You're right on that. I agree with you 110%. Okay. But at that point, you're supposed to ask him 3 questions.
Okay.
And these 3 questions are very important.
Okay.
Actually, these 3 questions, they changed my life.
Okay.
And since now there are more than 300 people, they are affiliated with my organization, and it's changing their lives.
Okay.
And you won't believe me, there's a policy in my company. I told them, take as many as days you can off. Okay. Even if you come for 10 days, but I want you 100% for my company. Now,
Yeah.
these three questions, what are these questions?
Okay, go ahead.
The first questions, what kind of experiences do you want to have in your life? I mean, a guy does O-level after you ask him this question. Now, experiences could be, you want to go to world tour, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, you want to be, you want to stay with your parents, you want to buy a penthouse, you want to drive Ferrari.
Yeah.
And there's no monopoly. You can follow a leader, okay? You can copy the experiences that you want to have in your life. Now, the second question, to gain all these experiences, how do you want the growth? Okay, like let's say you want to go to world tour, you have to have wealth, you have to go to certain flights, and then you want to become a lawyer, you have to go to certain university. Okay, you want to be a best mentor, you have to do this. Okay, to get all these experiences, how do you want the growth?
Yeah.
Now the third question, and which is very important, okay, which actually really matters, which makes you who you are, after gaining all these experiences, after getting all the growth, now how do you want to contribute to this community? How do you want to serve this society? How do you want, what do you want to leave for your next generation?
Okay.
Let's say your kids are going to walk into these streets. What are you leaving for them?
I don't want to leave
So
anything.
that, you know, ultimately, like right now, you're sitting over here, you're living something for the next generation. You're talking something.
I
Maybe
mean,
after
for all
10
of that
years,
money which will be
let
left
me-
in my account when I'm dead is the amount of extra work which I did.
You know, my dad
all
says I'm
the-
not, I don't leave anything.
No. It's not about your money. It's not about something materialistic. It's about something what you serve. Even a guy who polishes shoes on the road, he's directly or indirectly serving the community.
Absolutely.
Even the barber is serving the community.
Absolutely.
Okay? So every single person
That's
is
what we are doing.
Yeah, so no,
Exactly.
I absolutely get your point. So it's about you kind of trying to figure it out and kind of visualize the steps that you need to take, and it's also having a more informed decision.
So how does this model work now?
Okay, yes, how
how does this model work now? You see, somewhere, it has to be started. I started it, you can say, in 2017. At the beginning, it was really a hurdle. So I called upon the parents, and I took suggestions from the parents. What do you think if we give this kind of education to your kids? Do you agree on that? Okay. So obviously, parents, they're really conscious about their kids' future. Okay. So out of, you can say 60 parents, they were about, you can say 45 or 50 parents, they said yes. This is much better. This is way better. So I guess what society is demanding from you, what parents are demanding from you, go ahead for that.
Okay, I see. No, I agree with that to a certain degree, but thank you so much for being here to discuss this important topic and giving us a more insight, a bigger insight into what's happening in the education
And what
world.
are we calling this newer model of education? Do we have a name for this?
There's no specific name for this. It's actually through my organization, English in Moments. Like I said, we are doing through with that. But it's called Young Pakistan Network.
Young
Pakistan.
Excellent. And we will share any links if anyone wants to get any more information on what we spoke about. Thank you so much for being here today. Now we're going to go for a short break, and we're going to continue the conversation about being the best